Good afternoon. We are so excited to tell you about our day 5 of our Costa Rican adventure with Madre and Nino.
Nina.
And
Welcome to Indie Life Adventures.
episode 80-something.
Yes.
And today we're talking to you about our day, which was very magnificent. And so we woke up, we went to get a coffee, and then we went back to the nature center.
Bogarin Trail. So that's the trail we went to yesterday and paid to have the guide show us the sloths and the animals. And our entry allowed us 2 days. So today we could come back on our own anytime between the hours of 7 and 5.
We went back this morning, only briefly because we had to come back to our hostel to catch a van going to the volcano because we purchased tickets for an ATV tour.
We did indeed purchase tickets for an ATV tour, which is the first time I've ever done that here in Costa Rica. Well, honestly, I've never paid for an ATV tour. Luckily, we're just from, Missouri, where people have ATVs, so you can ride them.
Yes.
And shout out to Mama and Papa for always having the ATV and us getting to use it out on their property. It was wonderful.
I have an opinion to share about the ATV tour.
Oh, please do. That's what we're here for.
So I want to start by saying that I don't want to in any way say that this wasn't super awesome, because it was super awesome. Like I got to drive an ATV basically up a volcano. And so in no way am I saying that wasn't super awesome. Super duper awesome. But as far as bang for your buck, I wouldn't go as so far to recommend it. And I'll also say that the Holland brothers we met at the rafting said they were going to watch our La Fortuna videos. So I'm almost going in this with the mindset of where we would recommend.
I agree. And for anybody who's traveling to La Fortuna, but especially for Thais and a meal, giving you a heads up, you can probably skip the ATV tour. It was fun.
You can hike to the same place that we went with the four-wheelers, and if you really want to ride a four-wheeler way cheaper.
Yes, it was one of the more expensive excursions we've done.
Yes.
The most so far, the most expensive we've done. We doubled up on the ATV and it was still $128 US for a 3-hour tour. And the last hour, I think, was the best. That was the one where you got to go up the side of the volcano. And then keep this in mind, we're just going up to the base. We're not actually going up the side of the volcano, but we're going into the lava flows where from the last eruption, you're walking on the molten lava.
The lava rocks.
The lava rocks, exactly.
So it was pretty much super awesome. And as you can tell by the videos. And what I really liked is that we got to ride over the river.
Oh yes, yep. On that last hour, you got to go through a couple ditches and the river, and it really took the excitement to a new level. But the first 2 hours were just kind of ho-hum. Like you were going down some city streets, some gravel roads, a couple backcountry trails, but it was the last hour that really made it.
And going over the river kind of really did remind me of Mom and Papa's house, because it just brought back memories of having to put your feet up on the four-wheeler because you're going to be splashing yourself.
Yes.
So that was really nice. It was a really good time.
It was.
So then
I don't regret having done it.
No.
Like, it was nice to have that experience. And granted, we've been having amazing experience after amazing experience. Eventually, an experience is not going to beat the last experience. And I would say the ATV tour is the first one that didn't bring us to a whole new level.
But it did feel like, wow, like y'all are walking, I'm driving a four-wheeler. Like,
yeah.
It did feel pretty bougie and cool.
But part of me also felt like we were just being really loud Americans because there were people on the trails looking for animals, and then here we go with like 20 four-wheelers just barreling by. So part of me felt like we were being a little obnoxious.
True. Mm-hmm. Okay. Any other thoughts about the ATV tour?
No.
So after that, we were really hungry. So we went back to the Trace restaurant. Do you remember the full name?
Avenida Trace. Which I imagine there's a way to say 333, but I don't know how to do that in Spanish yet. So we're just going to say Trace.
And maybe that's how it's said. It's a possibility. But we had been there before.
Yes.
And it was just as good.
Yeah.
We got something that was recommended to us by someone on the tour.
Yes.
Do you remember what it was called?
I don't remember what it was called, but I can describe it. They were fried plantains to where they were almost like potato chips, really thick, almost like the size of a small pancake, but fried. And then you would top it with like a layer of black beans, some pico de gallo, and we had chicken. And it was, yeah.
I think it's normally beef, but they were out.
Yeah, they were out of beef.
So that was really good.
It was.
Also, I recommend going there, if anything, for their brownies and ice cream. Because it's the kind of thing where you take a bite and you like kind of melt a little bit. Because it's just, you expect a certain thing from brownies and ice cream, but it hits you with like 3 levels up from that. So I would really recommend that.
Yeah.
Then, what did we do?
Well, I will let you describe what we did next.
Okay. We were planning on going to the rope swing.
Right.
So we got all ready to go to the rope swing. But this was a weird part of the day for me, particularly because I wanted to go to the rope swing, but I also did want to go back to the Bogarin tour.
Yes.
The Bogarin Trail.
Yes.
Which ended at 5, and at this point it was like 2. And this whole trip, of course, I haven't been stressed. Like, this has been a very stress-free trip. But at this moment, I was like, oh, we're going to go to the rope swing, and then the trail closes at 5. I was like kind of stressed, so I was like, let's just go watch some birds at the trail.
Which I will take this moment to interrupt.
Okay.
To say, whenever I was looking forward to this 10-day trip with my daughter, I was so excited to spend time with her. But I didn't think about what I would learn about her that I didn't know before. I mean, I've known you for 19 years. I had no idea how much she was going to love taking pictures of birds. This is a whole new thing. And did you have this love prior to this trip, or is this something you've discovered since you got here?
It makes sense to me, but it's not something I've done before.
And because now this is the 3rd time we've gone to the trail, the nature trail, and she just wanted to see the birds and take pictures of the birds. And at one point, we were walking along the trail, and there's all these guided tours that usually have one guide with a spotting scope and tourists following him. But this group was different because they were nature photographers. I don't even think they had a guide. It was people hauling giant cameras that look like they must be photographers for National Geographic. And they were finding very unique birds. Well, Tessa just got right smack dab in the group. And these were all Asian, older people. Like, I mean, she just fell into the group, and she's got her little digital camera from like 10 years ago, maybe even 15 years ago, that I was going to donate to Goodwill. And she's like, oh no, I'd love to have that. So they've got their giant, gorgeous, expensive cameras, and Tessa is like right in the group with her little, and it was so fantastic. And one of the gentlemen kind of like, hey, look, and would show her the pictures he was taking. And Tessa was just, it was almost like you were adopted by the group of photographers, and you followed him around a while, and it was just the neatest thing to see.
It was amazing.
It was. Like, I really loved that part.
Yeah, me too. And the difference between their professional cameras and my digital camera was immense.
Yes.
So I really appreciated them showing me what pictures they had taken.
Yeah.
And it might have inspired something in me. I think it definitely did, where now I think, you know, that's a possibility for my future. Pretty much a slim one, because it, as you had said to me, it's a very expensive hobby.
Yes.
But slim, but still a possibility for my future.
Yeah. No, it's exciting just to see how much she loved watching the animals.
So it was pretty much great. Then we went to the rope swing.
Yes, and this is where I want to emphasize to the Holland brothers, when you get to La Fortuna, you need to go to El Salto. It is just a free swimming hole with just an incredible rope swing. Like, I had seen talk of it online, we had even looked at videos, but when we went there, it exceeded all expectations.
Absolutely.
I was just like, whoa. I can't believe, like, this is now my 4th time to La Fortuna and the very first time I've ever went there. And it is just within a mile of downtown, easy to walk to. And Tessa is absolutely so brave, because,
So are you.
oh, please, don't even. It was like, it took a while for me to go off this rope swing, but Tessa, first thing, she watched one guy do it. She went up there, grabbed that rope, and just went off like a champ, like as if you had no hesitation at all. And I was like, that's my girl.
It was awesome, and I know you guys would love it if
Yes.
you're watching. So highly recommend.
It was really great.
A really good time. We, after that, walked back to our hostel, made a quick stop at the grocery store and got a pastry.
Yes.
And then we were off once again, because something kind of random I wanted to do on this trip is to go do some karaoke.
Yes, and this is where I wish we could have teleported Matthew in, because they are karaoke connoisseurs. And here I am trying to really entertain Tessa, and this is so far outside of my comfort zone. I mean, going off the rope swing is easy compared to me trying to drum up the courage to really participate in karaoke. And so Tessa was, again, amazing. Like, she was the first one up there and triggered a onslaught of people wanting to sing karaoke. Like, it was as if the gentleman who was running it, everybody was just hesitant, but Tessa got up there, and it was then line after line of everybody wanting to do it. And I'm super proud of you.
Thank you very much. I did 3 songs. First, I did Always Something There to Remind Me, which is kind of a classic of mine, which is interesting because I'm not super good at singing that song, but I always do it, and I'm not sure why. And then the second song I did was a little less popular. It was called...
she rocked it. The second song, like, I had not heard it before. And I was a little worried for you, because usually karaoke, you want a song everybody knows so they can sing along. And I'm thinking, nobody's ever going to have heard of this song. And I don't honestly know if the audience had heard it.
No one had heard it,
but
I think.
It was right in your vocal range.
Thank you very much.
And you rocked that second song.
It was called Too Close by Sir Chloe. And I think the reason that I agree that I did rock that song. And the reason is because I sing it so often when it plays in my car that I've just I think I've kind of mastered it.
Oh, well, I sing lots of songs in my car, and I have mastered 0. So that's amazing that you've mastered it, because she really had.
We did one together.
That was where the anxiety really kicked in for me. And I just had to remind myself, I'm never going to see these people again, because y'all don't know this, but I do not possess any singing talent. I don't have dance talent.
We possess the same amount of singing talent.
But you have confidence, so much confidence. And so she got me up there, and I'm like, when in Rome, and it's my daughter, I'll do anything to make her happy.
Yes.
And we duetted to George Michael's Careless Whisper. And I could nail the chorus. I felt confident I had the chorus, but even though I recognized a lot of the words, I wasn't sure the tune of them, especially like the last stanza at the end of the song. I don't know. Yeah, so Tessa carried us, but I was glad it was over and I could get off the stage. And, but yeah. Block checked, but we definitely missed Matthew.
Yeah.
I missed Matthew because them two
We
at
both
karaoke are rock stars.
And I texted Matthew that we were doing it, and I felt like he really missed us too.
Oh yeah.
So it was kind of a bittersweet.
Yes.
But that has been our whole night.
That is our whole day.
Whole entire day.
This is our third and last night in the hostel. We are recording from a common area, and they're shutting down for the evening, and so we'll have to.
We should probably go.
Yes, we are going to have to go, and tomorrow we catch a bus
To
Monteverde. We take a bus, a boat, and another bus, and we'll get to Monteverde in 3 hours and figure out what we're going to do with our next 3 days before we go home. So I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I really think we squeezed all we could out of La Fortuna in this short amount of time. It was a really, really great visit here.
It was a great visit.
Yes. So thanks for watching, and we'll keep you updated with what's next.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.